interesting and intriguing. So we'll have to wait and see on that. This next week and a half. I mean, Darian, this week could be crazy what we could see. No doubt about that. Darian, not with me at the moment.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting you set up. How are you this morning?
I'm good. What do you think will be the biggest move? Ja aside, because they're going to try to move him. But what do you think, Kawhi moving, this new big three in Golden State, what do you think will be the biggest event, the biggest move in the NBA?
The biggest move will easily be Golden State if it comes to fruition. Having a reunion of LeBron and AD and Curry all in Golden State is box office. You know, they're a little bit longer than two, but they are box office. Yeah. I do not believe that Kawhi moves the needle right now. He's kind of an unlikable fella. But get back to that Toronto team, that's not the same team. So Masai Ujiri's not there anymore, so I don't know how that all would work.
I don't either, but I think this is the Clippers just saying, finally, we give up on Kawhi. That's how I view all of this, plus the salary, which is pretty enormous. All right, I've heard so much over this weekend about the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, her being persecuted, her being a tragic figure, can't win. And you know what? I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, so I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that on the front end. And I do think her coach is right. I think she's a generational player. I think that the
NBA wouldn't allow that to happen to Steph Curry. You know, so
I don't think they would. And now Steph Curry's been around a while. That's probably the reason why. And Steph Curry did not come in with the fanfare. Let's not forget. Steph Curry played at Davidson. He was not coming in like he's the hero. But here's what Caitlin Clark got them double their amount of money. Caitlin Clark got them charter airplanes. Caitlin Clark got them in NBA arenas, not the dinkier arenas they were in. Caitlin Clark made this league a draw. It's incredible.
Don't understand the vitriol.
It's incredible how ungrateful I think a lot of these players are. I think most of it is jealousy, but that to me is not the biggest transgression that the WNBA has done. The WNBA, in my estimation, and it comes down to officiating, the WNBA has let what could be a very good product, because unlike when I first started doing women's basketball, and granted, this is a long time ago, my career with the University of Memphis really began in 1983. I did 2 years of the Lady Tigers with Mary Lou Johns, and Elma Rowan, who's now the building is named after, was the AD. That's when I started doing their games. And there were a couple of good players. Diane Jones, who was Keith Lee's wife, has been forever now. She was a really good player. There was Linda McKean. There were good players, but maybe 2 or 3 on a team. Not the depth that you have now, and not the skill level that you have now. You've got this product, which now that you've got bigger names and women's college basketball is much better covered, so you see them going from that level to the pro level, you see a product that could be really good. For whatever reason, the commissioner, the supervisor of officials, whoever makes these WNBA decisions, have decided to make this a mugging league. They just allow so much physicality that you see them beat up on each other. That the Fever game the other day, and I know Alyssa Thompson is on that team, and I
that's who was suspended.
Yeah, well, she should have been, but she's been involved in. She did the same thing to Angel Reese a couple of games ago with their team. Angel Reese not with Chicago anymore, but whatever team she's on. And obviously, I don't have the total recall of all the WNBA teams. I do watch a little bit. It's not like I'm totally clued in.
Well, Alyssa is an ultra talented player. Like, she is literally one of the stars, but she has the heart and the game of a Dennis Rodman.
Well, she's she just likes to beat you up. And she did that to Caitlin Clark, and she did that to Angel Reese, the two biggest third-year players that the WNBA has. My complaint is the WNBA has taken a lot of skilled players and nullified them by allowing all this physicality. It has made the game terrible. How about real basketball? How about calling fouls and letting players who have skill show off their skills? You got to screen and, you got to box out and you got to rebound hard. I'm all for that. But what they're allowing, and really, it's almost like they're trying to emphasize, we're a physical league. You got to be a big girl to play in this league. And personally, it's a turnoff. I think if they keep down this road, the league is not going to grow like it has grown. And that's on the commissioner and the supervisor of officials. I know, I hear everybody, this league's officiating is terrible. They get the dregs. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe they need to pay a little more, and maybe the NBA ought to share some of their better refs. The truth is, it's the philosophy they've got going in. They've decided to allow all this physicality. It's taken away the beauty of the game, and it has not allowed the stars who are skilled players to really flourish.
Yeah, you're correct, because they have training camps and the same preparations as the NBA does when you come to referees. So at the beginning of the season, they all get together and say, what are we emphasizing? What are we looking for? And obviously they're saying, hey, let's chill on the whistle a little bit.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. It really is. Okay, before we get to medals, there was a playoff today. Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland. Scotty Scheffler had trouble on 18. He had one par and maybe two pars and two bogeys. He could not, most of this tournament, even though he was 20 under when it was all said and done, he had trouble finding the fairway with his driver. In the meantime, Victor Hovland, who also finished at 20 under, he had 3 birdies to end to make sure he got into the playoff. He was 2 under on 18. He had no problem with that hole. They tee off this morning. Hovland down the middle. Oh, wait. Scotty Scheffler down the middle, about a yard or two shy. Scotty goes first to the 18th in the playoff. He hits an unbelievable shot. 4.5 feet from the hole. Hovland goes second. He hits a shot 6.5, maybe 7 feet from the hole. Wow. Hovland goes first. Pretty similar line of a putt. Downhill, very fast. Got to break a little bit right at the end, which is exactly what Hovland's putt did. It hits the right edge and somehow, even with a decent amount of speed, goes in. Here comes Scotty Scheffler. Very similar line. Shorter putt. He's just seen what he needed to do. He pulls the putt. He misses the putt and loses to Victor Hovland. So I don't know what you think about Scott. He's a money printing machine. I think that's his 4th runner-up this year. He won early in the season. He's top 10 every time out. He might have one top 15. Otherwise, he's 2nd, 3rd, 9th. It's incredible.
You could say he not gave it away. The rain kind of assisted, but 16 and 17 yesterday kind of hurt him.
It did. But he blew the putt. They should still be playing. And, that's not Scotty Scheffler. I don't know what it is about finishing. First of all, he couldn't start to begin. After he won this year, he was having 2 bad rounds. Had to recover at the end of the second round to make the cut, and then would make his charge on Saturday and Sunday and just fall short. Well, this time he had, a 60 on Friday. He was in position. Just, I guess you can't complain when you're making that kind of money and you finish second. What did he make in this? Like $1.5 million to finish second, probably? Something like that. But you have that second kid.
It is, yeah.
And you won $63 million last year, and Lord knows with endorsements, he's $100 million a year guy. I mean, and here's a guy who says, look, my family's number one. And he says that, and I believe the sincerity in that. But I do think you get distracted.
There's a stat, and I forget, it correlates with the second kid. You're correct.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Jack Nicklaus said this about Tiger Woods. He goes, when he was off to this amazing start, he won that U.S. Open by, 12 strokes or whatever. And Nicklaus said he's going to really be good like this for a while. But things change after you get married and have a family. And we know what happened with all of that. So that's basically what's happening today. We've got Mike DeCourcy and Ted Butler, but we always on Mondays here in the Family Leisure Studios, which I do remind you, and it may only be happening for a little bit more because I know I've seen there's a 4th of July sale, but Ultimate Pool Party still happening where you can get above ground pools for under $4,000 and the in-ground state-of-the-art pools. They didn't used to do this. They do them now for under $50,000. All in-stock patio furniture priced to move like a 5-piece patio furniture set that starts at under $1,000. There's a free umbrella and base with select patio furniture purchases. And if you mention us, $200 off the purchase of a spa or a pool. All you got to do is get to I-40 and Whidden Road. Mention us when you walk in to Family Leisure. We do a thing every Monday, good and bad. We call it precious, not so precious metals. I'm going to give a bronze medal to Serena Williams. Why? Well, she's 44? She's been away from the game for a while. She lost a lot of weight from a GLP-1, which she's made a lot of money on. And I think she feels like it's given her new life.
But it's not.
I don't see her winning either.
I don't see her winning.
Maybe the first round. I mean, who she's playing is an 87. Number 87.
She's an underdog, though. She's not even the favorite.
No, of course not. She hasn't played in 4 years. Singles, doubles. It's a shame that she was playing with a partner that was a younger partner. She's playing in Wimbledon with her sister, which is nostalgic. I don't see them going far. What is her sister, 46?
Yep, sister's older. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I give her a bronze just for being brave enough to try singles after not playing for 4 years. I give Victor Hovland a bronze. He wins this thing. Scotty kind of helped him, but he wins this thing, and that's his 8th win in 146 starts. He hadn't won in 15 months. Last time he won was last year, really, in Houston. The guy's a really great player. There's just no question about that, so congratulations to him. I give silver medals to 2 baseball players. One, Jacob Mizorowski. I've given him several medals, but I can't help it. I guess I've fallen in love with the guy, even though he's a Brewer and I'm a Cub. But the guy threw 105.5 miles per hour. That's the 3rd fastest pitch in history. He said afterwards he thought he could get to 108. I see Tommy John at 108. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But this guy's, that's the 3rd fastest pitch ever. And you know what's crazy about it? B. Crow Armstrong was the batter. He actually hit it. He fouled it off. 105.5. The guy is just incredible. And this is a former Cub, Kyle Schwarber. 30th home run of the year. First one to 30 this year. He's done it now in 84 games. So basically we're halfway point and change in 2 games. Could he hit 60? Could he hit 60?
He's the fastest Philly to 30 in all time.
All time?
All time.
It was this year.
Fastest Philly to 30.
Wow. They've had some great hitters in Philadelphia. Dick Allen comes to mind who could hit him out of the ballpark quickly. I'm pulling for Schwartz. I love the guy. I hope he gets 60. That'd be great. And then my gold medal goes to the World Cup. And I can't wait to talk to Mike DeCourcy because I'm not sure what's the best story. Cape Verde? Little islands off Africa that has like 500,000 people of population. They make the knockout round. They wouldn't have even made the tournament in the old setup with 32 teams. With 48, they get in. They make the knockout round. How about Canada yesterday? Makes the round of 16 for the first time. A dramatic late goal. Or how about Messi? Now has scored in 7 straight World Cups. He has 6 goals in this particular competition. I mean, The stars are scoring. That's another aspect of it. World Cup gets my gold. Darian Newsom, your medals.
All righty, good sir. The Mets, and these are courtesy of our good friend Landon. He texted and said he wanted me to get his medals on board.
Okay.
So the Mets, and I do not agree with this one. He says the Mets made their first sensible decision of the year by firing Carlos Mendoza. I don't think that was sensible because I think that's the team aspect. They're not performing. I don't think that was on Carlos Mendoza.
You know what happens here? You can't fire the team.
Yeah, you can't fire the team. Understood. Totally understood. So he said now it's being said that Albert Pujols is interested in that job.
Somebody ought to give Albert Pujols a job. I thought the Cardinals.
Do you think that's the right spot for him?
Look, I think
uber talented team.
Any time you got a guy who's ready to manage, who's proven himself at a lower level, who's a big name, why not give him a chance?
Absolutely, absolutely. His silver, the World Cup, he's lock and step with you. You gave him a silver, you gave him a gold. The World Cup keeps marching on as we approach the round of 32. U.S. gets started this Wednesday versus Bosnia.
Right.
That is his silver. His gold, Victor Hovland defeating Scotty in the closing playoff round.
Just got that
morning.
in then, huh? He just sent that to you.
Yep, round this morning to win a very competitive Travelers. I will throw myself a goal in there for Hunter Goodman for all of the reasons you said, but also he recently joined Johnny Bench in the record books by hitting that 25th home run before the All-Star break. The first catcher to do that since Bench in 1970. And are we ready for Russ, or do I give it back to you?
Me? Then you.
Okay, go for it. All right.
Yeah, you're going to get onto this thing. If you don't know, Landon Schmidt's going to be leaving us in a couple of weeks. It'll be Darian Newsom sitting in that chair opposite me after all of that. All right, my Russ. I've already said the WNBA for their allowing physicality to take over the game and diminish the product. And then I got to give a Russ. I hate to do this, but to the Memphis Redbirds. They win the first half, and they have not won a game since they won the first half. They've lost 5 in a row. Tough stuff. That's for sure. You're Russ.
All righty. What we got? Teo Riki. Ever heard of him? If not,
no.
Good. He released a World Cup song that is unbelievably bad. But here's the worst part. On social media, he has been saying On social media, he has been saying that a few nations have chosen his World Cup song as their song. Every nation he has sided with has been a surprise in the draw or a loss. Teams that have fallen to his song: Portugal, specifically tied to Cristiano Ronaldo; Brazil, England, U.S., Spain, Mexico, Argentina, Australia, Sweden, South Korea, South Africa, Canada, and Italy. It's all about this song with Landon.
You know what? Do me a favor. Find that song, just so we can determine if it's good or if it's bad. Maybe we'll play it right.
I have it before the end of the show.
Before we bring in DeCourcy, see if we can get it real quick. Is that yours, or is that
was his? That was his Rust. That was
okay, you got a Rust?
No, I'll go with his. I'll go with his on that.
Okay, there we go. And those are our medals, good and bad. They're brought to you by Memphis Public Golf, which is always good. And I got to tell you, I was at Pine Hill to watch my son play Saturday morning in the Pine Hill Championships. Pine Hill is in some kind of golf shape. Now, they always go the extra mile to make sure when there's going to be a championship. And every one of the public golf courses has their own championship now. And, of course, you got the Pub Links Championship, the City Championship, coming up later in the year where they're going to play Pine Hill, Galloway, and Audubon. I think those are the three. I think Fox is out of the rotation for this Pub Links. But they're all in great shape. I mean, you can play every one of those golf courses down. I'm not sure you can say that about some of the daily fee courses, but you can say that about Memphis City golf courses. Every one of them that I've played, even Overland Park, you can play the ball down. They're in such good condition. And if you've not played Pine Hill, which is now open 7 days a week, you're really missing something. They redid it. It's in great shape. Some holes are really challenging. Others are just kind of pretty and they're you can score a little bit on, which everybody likes that. That's for sure. Go check it out. Go to the website, memphispubliclinks.com. Make your tee times there. Get all the info on all the championships. You got to love what you see with Memphis Public Golf. We take the break. We're back in just 1 second. We're going to Pittsburgh. Our World Cup guy. He's Mr. Everything. Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News. He comes your way in just a moment.
Be sure to download our Hub 901 app for instant access to Sports 56 and all the Flynn broadcasting stations from anywhere. Go to the App Store and get the Hub 901 app today.
Rockin' Ronnie stepped out, but left me with some amazing deals at Gossett Hyundai South Mount Moriah. How about 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE? We Gossett $198.48 a month. Yeah, $198.48 a month for Hyundai Elantra SE. How about 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE? $269.59 a month. That's right, $269.59 a month for Hyundai Tucson SE. Plus 2026 Hyundai Palisade SEL, $331.82 a month. $331.82 a month for Hyundai Palisade SEL. Plus, you'll get owner's assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So go by and ask for Rockin' Ronnie today at Gossett Hyundai South, 2660 Mount Moriah, or online, GossettHyundaiMountMoriah.com. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars. Elantra TU 196,041, MSRP 24,110. Palisade SEL, stock number TU 106,409, MSRP 44,820. Tucson TH 744,261, MSRP 31,350. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. If you were anywhere in the Mid-South lately, you felt it. High winds, hail, and storms rolling through hard. And here's the truth. If your roof took a hit, you may not see it yet. Hail and wind damage shingles can compromise your roof, opening the door for water intrusion. And once it gets in, the damage spreads fast. Ceilings, walls, insulation, even mold. That's why the sooner we inspect, the less damage you risk. Right now, Metro Builders has teams all over Memphis performing free inspections, handling same-day repairs, and providing emergency water mitigation services if needed. We'll show you exactly what we see, document everything, and help you take action before a small problem becomes a big one. Don't wait until you see water inside. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or book your inspection online at MetroBuildersMemphis.com. That's Metro Builders Memphis. We don't just build, we build world class.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now through Monday, save up to 60% on Sealy at Mattress Firm. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Marty McNate's on vacation, but passed along some exciting deals at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's Volkswagen Driver Days event. If you're looking for sporty, we Gossett 2026 Jetta S. Just $249 a month. $249 a month for Jetta S. Luxury just got a new definition in 2026 Tiguan 2.0 TS. Now $269 a month. Brand new Tiguan S, $269 a month. Plus 2026 Atlas SE, only $329 a month. That's only $329 a month for a brand new Atlas SE. Marty McNate will be waiting for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road. Online, GossettVWG.com, and remember, your future's what you make it. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars. Atlas TC 564,681, MSRP 41,911, Jetta TMO 312,217, MSRP 25,791, Tiguan TMO 43,763, MSRP 32,881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax, title, license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6/30/26 dealer stock only.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We are heading to Pittsburgh. We talked with Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News, Big Ten Network, Fox. He's everywhere. He's brought to you by Memphis Tourism and the Memphis Sports Council. Did you know tourism and the hospitality industry in Memphis and Shelby County paid over $1 billion in wages to nearly 50,000 local employees, with most of those wages being reinvested back into our local community. Memphis Tourism and the Memphis Sports Council, that's a winning combination, working year-round to bring visitors and sporting events to our community that help fan the flames of economic development in Memphis and Shelby County. And every week they bring you Mike DeCourcy.
Let's go. Yeah. This is the greatest time of all of our lives. From the streets to the stadium, we come alive. Every country around the world, everybody feels the magic in the ball. Every city, we hear each other roar.
That's not so bad. Why do you give him a rust? That's Teo Ricci, if I'm saying it right. He's written the World Cup song that Mike DeCourcy, some have said, is a curse. They're lambasting this. To me, it sounds okay. What's your take?
Sounds fine to me. It's somewhat clever. It's not exactly "It's Coming Home," the anthem of England, the sort of tongue-in-cheek anthem of England that they play every 4 years, and then it doesn't ever seem to come home. But it seems pretty good.
I'm okay with that. All right, let's get down to brass tacks here. We got the knockout round, the round of 32 going on. Canada's already in. That's the first time they've ever gotten to the round of 16. I got to ask you the best story. Cape Verde, Canada doing what they just were able to do. All the stars scoring like Messi, who's now got 6 goals to lead the way, 7 games in a row in World Cup competition, going back 4 years. He scored 7 straight games. I mean, that's a heck of an accomplishment. I'm not sure anybody has ever done that before. What's your favorite storyline? Could be something different.
I think, for me, my favorite element of this World Cup has just been how much everyone has enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that comes from so many different areas, from the people at Cabo Verde, who the goalkeeper who's had such an amazing tournament and become such a celebrity with that, to the Netherlands group and how impactful they are, and the Norway with the rowing in the stands. And there were lots of reasons to be unhappy about this World Cup going in. The prices and the way the tickets were distributed was certainly not ideal. But everybody just seems to have resolved, okay, now we got that out of the way, and let's have a great time. And they certainly are.
That part has been truly great. Plus, which I believe they set a record for attendance in the group play.
Yes.
And that's all because look at the stadiums in Mexico, the United States, and Canada.
It's not just the record in group play. It's not just that. They have already set the all-time attendance record for the World Cup.
Oh, wow.
Just through group play. The record was set in '94 in the United States, when it was a 24-team event, therefore fewer games. And that drew 3.58 million people in 1994, when I was a Memphis resident and was one of those people who drove down to Dallas to sweat it out in again between Germany and South Korea. It must have been 120 degrees that day, Dave, and it was glorious. Now we're already at more than 4 million. I think it's 4.6 million. And so we're going to get well in excess. I think we're going to get up to close to 7 by the time we get through knockout play. It's a staggering in terms of the profit for FIFA and all of that, which FIFA promises to return most of it to the various federations. Unfortunately, they could have. That's another thing people complain about. They could have left a little bit more here, given what great hosts the United States, Canada, and Mexico have been.
Well, I was just thinking about that profitability. I mean, the prices that they asked for and are getting, and it's going to be $7 million. Wow, that's a lot of cash FIFA's going to have.
Yes, it is, and then, as I said, it does promote the growth of the. Well, if it's properly distributed at the federation level, which we can never be 100% sure it always is, because
Right.
I mean, we saw what happened 10 years or almost 10 years ago with FIFA. It wasn't always going where it was supposed to go, but we can hope that that goes into the youth game, goes in the women's game, it goes into the for those places that need it, it goes into the senior game as well.
You mentioned the goalie for Cape Verde. He's an older gentleman who's become a sensation. He's going to face Messi. Isn't it great the way, and I only really watch these every 4 years, but what a great storyline you're getting there. Obviously, we're going to get into this in a second, USA and Bosnia, but just think, little Cape Verde, what is that? The islands off Africa with about 500,000 population, this older
Right.
goalie. He's going to take on Messi, who's on a heater.
Yes. Well, don't forget Messi's old too.
I know. What is he, 38, something like that?
Yeah, he is, and he what an amazing run for him. And one of the beautiful things about it, for those of us who follow soccer in America, is that when he came to the U.S., there were so many. I mean, he came fresh off of winning the World Cup in 2022, and there
Right.
were so many who thought he was coming here to play golf and smoke cigars, if he does indeed smoke cigars, and it would be a joke. And instead, he's continued to work on improving. And now he's the dominant player. I mean, there have been other great players at this tournament so far, don't get me wrong. But he's been the best player in this World Cup through group play. And so it sort of rejects a lot of the anti-MLS bias that exists, not just worldwide, but more so here in the United States. There are a lot of American soccer fans who reject their domestic league. And look, I'm not saying that they shouldn't say, well, the Premier League is better or La Liga in Spain is better. I'm not saying that. But, they don't say that in Croatia. I mean, they follow their local team. They embrace it. They understand that Luka Modric is going to England and then eventually to Spain because he's a great player, one of the greats of all time, and he's going to go where the best competition is. But that doesn't mean they're not fans of their teams. And that's something that could be more in place here. It's not that they don't have great fan bases in Columbus or Cincinnati or Austin or wherever. They do, but there's way too much snobbery about MLS. And for Canada to get the winning goal last night in the World Cup, actually I watched it last night, yesterday afternoon, I should say,
Yeah.
in the World Cup round of 32, the first ever round of 32 knockout victory for Canada from an MLS player. The leading goal scorer at this tournament is an MLS player. It's been a great advertisement for the league, and I hope it pays off in people finally giving it the level of respect it deserves. Not pretending it's better than the Premier League, but the level of respect that it deserves.
Where do you put Messi in the context of all time? Let's just say Argentina won for our argument's sake here. That would be 2 World Cups in a row. This guy is going to be the greatest all-time scorer probably in the history of World Cup play. And what he's done later in life, even in the MLS, to give it even more credibility. And I do think he's done that. Where would you put him in the pantheon of great players?
Yeah, I think you have to say that he's the greatest player of all time. Pele was amazing.
Yeah.
And I thought the area of the game or the sport that I would give Pele an advantage is in outreach. Messi's not that guy, and he hasn't seemed to have any desire to be that guy. I think he could be more available to spread the gospel of the sport here. I think he feels like his experience is enough, and I think certainly it's most of it. I think if he were to speak more and make himself available more, even if he wants to do that in his most comfortable language, no problem. I just think he could do a little bit more in that respect. But in terms of actual on-field accomplishment, you have to give Messi the advantage for the reason that he played in the greatest leagues. Now, it wasn't Pele's fault. He wasn't allowed to leave Brazil during certain periods of his career. They said, no, you're a national treasure. You can't go to England or Spain or Italy or wherever he might have wanted to go. He couldn't. He had to stay playing in the Brazilian league. And so that was a problem. But Messi has done everything there is to do in club football. And when they finally won Copa America, I think it was 20 or 21, when he finally broke through there, and he's won at least another one since. And then when they did the World Cup in 22, he answered all the questions. He is the greatest player of all time. It really is just a question of now. Would he be like, if you're going to have the Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Hank Aaron, like Willie Mays, whoever you want to throw in there, Jim Brown, and say, okay, like, is he the greatest athlete to ever walk the planet? Then I think, and then Jim Thorpe, all those people,
right.
Like he's in that conversation, and that's the level that you have to now debate.
Well, yeah, interesting comparison with Pele, because later in his career, when he was allowed to leave, and he was definitely past his prime, he came and gave credibility to the NASL. They had that great Cosmos team in New York.
Yeah, he gave credibility to the Cosmos. The NASL never really broke through anywhere else but New York. When the Cosmos had him and Beckenbauer and Canalia and so many others, they were all going through. I don't know whether or not they all shared a field at one point or not. I don't know the history of that team well enough, but they all came through in a certain period of time and gave great credibility to the Cosmos, but never really to the league. The league never caught on, and it struggled all through its 18 years, I think 16 or 18 years of existence, and went away in 84. Major League Soccer has made it 30 plus years now. And
time goes fast.
Yeah, it's amazing. It came about as the product of the World Cup. They had to start a league if they were going to be granted the World Cup in 94, and they promised they would, and they came through on that promise in 96. And it was close for a while on whether it would succeed or survive. Three wealthy people kept the league alive in the early 2000s, and now everybody that's invested in the league has done really well. I mean, if you bought a franchise, if you bought an expansion franchise like in the 2000s, I mean, you have really cashed in big time.
Let's talk American soccer here in the World Cup. Let's talk USA, Bosnia, and let me just ask you, do you think because of that last-second loss, to Turkey, or if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Turkey, I think.
Turkey, they changed that on me. Yeah, I just used to notice Turkey. Do you think they lost momentum?
Here's the thing about momentum in the World Cup. In 2002, the United States made the quarterfinals, the only time in the modern era when they have done that. They beat Mexico in the round of 16. They came out of group play having played Poland in the third game, needing to draw or win to advance, or you'd need help in the other game, which was at the time Portugal versus South Korea. And South Korea barely beat Portugal, and that saved the United States because they stunk it up against Poland in the third group game and lost, I think, 3-1. And so they only got to that round of 16 game because of South Korea scoring and holding on against Portugal. And so they had no momentum going into that Mexico game, and they sliced Mexico up. I mean, they just absolutely dissected the Mexico defense and created chances and scored twice and won. And so momentum didn't matter then. And then you look at 2010 when they come out of group play as the group winner because of Landon Donovan's goal against Algeria, the spectacular go USA goal started by Tim Howard and then eventually finished by Landon. There's never been a greater moment in American men's soccer than that. And that momentum was gone when they played Ghana 4 days later. They weren't good. They were okay. They had a really bad misplay in the defensive midfield in extra time, and they lost. So I don't think momentum is really a factor. It's all comes down to execution and performance. And the United States, if they reach their level of execution that they did in the Paraguay game, the Australia game first half, if they do that, they're better than Bosnia. And they just have to, at that point, avoid some sort of weird bad luck.
And then it will be Belgium that played a great third game. I watched. I controlled that whole game. Might have been the competition. And we'll talk about that next week. Mike DeCourcy, as always, we appreciate your brilliance.
Let's hope we are talking about that next week.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking about what the heck went wrong. It's going to be one or the other. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Dave.
Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News and the Big Ten Network and Fox Sports. He's brought to you by Cadillac of Memphis. He's the Cadillac of guys when it comes to a lot of different things. When we talk about the best, the highest standard, we say it's the Cadillac of, right? And if you want the best of the best, that would mean the best dealership that has Cadillacs, that would be Landers. Landers is great at everything. You know, you can even save more money if you go and get the Landers Easy Pass. You do it for the Cadillacs by going to Landers Easy Pass at CadillacofMemphis.com. They always pay top dollar for trades. Their showroom is amazing and very easy to get to right on Poplar Avenue in East Memphis. And they always have the best new models. They're all there, and they sell fast. And remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much. And this portion of the show also brought to you by Southern Security. Whether you're a small business owner, maybe you're buying your first home, Southern Security has been your trusted financial partner for years. Over 75 years they've been around. 7 locations. They're not for profit. They're not a bank. They're a credit union. They can do things banks can't do. Unbelievable rates. Service, technology. Wait till you see the branch in Collierville that opened up. It's got the latest when it comes to that. It's easy to join. Call 452-7900 or go to southernsecurity.org. Federally insured by NCUA, Southern Security, your home team credit union. We're going to putt-putt. Actually, it's now summer golf and games. Our golf guru's Ted Butler. He comes your way momentarily.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey everybody, June is about baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and a new All-Star Chevrolet. Because staycation or vacation, it begins right here in Olive Branch. So let's see how low your payments can go. Come to All-Star and see what 0% financing for 5 years on all these new Silverados will do for you. Because your good credit deserves it. Military and first responders, you get an extra $500 bonus. And All-Star Chevrolet has pre-owned makes and models for any budget. Priced in the 10s, 15s, or 20s. Or you can go big with a Tahoe, Traverse with the third row seating, Corvette Stingray. Oh yeah, pre-owned Silverados, they always got them. And for your commercial and fleet needs, All-Star Chevy is a top-rated business elite dealer. Express cargo and express passenger vans, they are there in Olive Branch. And if you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. Together, let's drive. Don't miss the best sale of the summer event going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what
Rebel Nation, get the latest on everything Ole Miss sports with the Cannon Motors of Mississippi Rebel Yell Hotline. Join Rebel insiders Chuck Rounsville, Yancey Porter, and Gary Darby Monday nights at 6 as they break down the latest with the Rebels, along with even more insight from special guests. Rebel Yell Hotline, Mondays at 6 p.m. on WHBQ.
Stay up to date with everything going on in Ole Miss athletics with Rebel Yell Hotline every Monday night from 6 to 7 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
To summer golfing games, our golf guru is Ted Butler. He joins us now. Ted, what happened to my guy Scotty Scheffler? I picked him to win this week. He was in position. He missed a short putt after a medium putt was made by Victor Hovland. Good morning. Should I worry about Scotty Scheffler?
I don't think so. I think maybe he could be worried about himself a little bit. You know, there's a lot of times this year he could have won and he didn't. But it was a fascinating tournament. There were so many good players, so close up to the top, and you know, watching the way they handle the conditions, the weather, and the wet, and it was great to watch. And you know, a 5-footer like he has, not a gimme, especially if you lose the turn when you miss it. And Hovland, I thought his boat was going to miss. You know, the way he stacked a little bit, and you thought he was going to miss it the right.
I couldn't believe it went in.
Yeah, really.
But I couldn't believe Scotty Scheffler. I think he pulled that putt.
Well, you know, that and a little firm, and they said on TV it looks like it's going to break on that putt, but it never does. And he did firm it. You know, he just missed one. Missed a bunch of them.
You studied Jack Nicklaus a lot. He had a lot of runner-ups. So how many? I think he had like 13 runner-ups in majors, right? We know he holds the record. Yeah, maybe it's 20. I think it's more actually than he had wins. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's more than that, right? I had the number one time.
So this guy had a lot of runner-ups too. This is like the third or the fourth runner-up this year, and he's won only once, but he's top 10 almost every time out. But there seems to be just a little sharpness somewhere missing from a year ago.
I was wondering, you know, thinking about that, if he's getting a little, I don't want to say bored, but, you know, golf's not his whole life. He's got much more involved in life than golf, and these good players keep coming along, and you just don't make everything. It's hard to win a PGA tournament. And he had a lot of shots this week that weren't very good. You know, conditions.
He couldn't drive. He kept missing fairways. That's for sure.
I mean, his shot making is not as sharp as it's been, and the putting's not quite as sharp. But it's so hard when you're playing against 150 of the best players in the world every week to win like he has last few years.
And then there's a guy like Hovland. You forget about him. You know, you got Fitzpatrick's. You have all these European players. Justin Rose, who's on the older side, but you know, he's always a threat. It's just amazing how many players there are. What's your thoughts on Victor Hovland, who is young? He's only had 146 starts on the PGA Tour. He's won 8 times now.
Well, he was good when he came out there, and he won early. And then he decided to change parts of his game. His short game was really bad, and they got a new coach and got really good at that. And then he decided he wanted to play a draw instead of a fade, and he went to 2 or 3 different swing coaches and started changing this and that. And you know, you get lost in your technique sometimes. And this week it showed up. He's got a little unusual move. He takes the club back on the inside, comes over the top, and plays a little cut shot. But for a while he wanted to play a draw, and when he tried to do that, he messed up his whole game. He keeps searching, though. You know, he's looking for the ultimate.
He's got it now. And he just knocked off number one, and he had to have 3 birdies at the end last night to get it, and then he beat him head-to-head this morning. So I don't think we're seeing a change of the guard here yet. But
no.
as you point out, there's just so many good guys on tour. I didn't even mention Rory for that matter. We got Birkdale coming up in a couple of weeks. You got an early favorite for me?
Well, it's hard to, you know, Scotty won last year. It's hard to bet against him, but I kind of like, much I hate to say Rory again, because he's from over there, and I think my pick will be Rory. again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Matt Fitzpatrick was in the pit.
He's playing great.
Yeah,
he's played great all year long.
Yeah. The Americans, well, they won last year, but usually you kind of favor a European when it comes to that Open.
Well, the conditions they're so used to it.
Yeah, and
we're not. If the wind starts blowing, it gets cold. It changes daily over there, so you never really know. And they're adept at playing that than we are, for sure.
Big announcement this week from Brian Rolap, the CEO, not the commissioner, the CEO of the PGA Tour, with a new pro system that has 2 tracks, the Championship Tour and the Challenger Tour. Nothing was mentioned about sponsors or Memphis's future, but definitely 2 different approaches here. What's your thoughts on what Brian Rolap had to say?
Well, I like the idea. Having a super major league and then guys just below that are trying to get into the big time as well. I think it's a good idea. It keeps the small towns having golf tournaments. That if they all went big time like that, smaller tournaments would go away. I don't know as far as sponsorships, who's going to be willing to put up all the money, or I have no idea 2 years from now how that's going to financially work out. But I do like the idea of 2 tours, though.
I know this. The price to be in the Championship Tour for a sponsor is going way, way up. I don't know what the title sponsorship's going to cost. I don't know what FedEx is going to do. Would FedEx keep Memphis as a title sponsor here in the big boys? Because I've heard that sponsorship could be like $30 million just for that one event. I don't know what the title sponsorship is going up to, so kind of crazy. We're up in the air. We do know we're the playoffs in the big leagues for the next 2 years, but after that, who knows? And I don't know. I love the Challengers, the Championship Series, because that every match is basically big money, like a signature event. And they're going away from not having a cut, and they're going to have relegation. I like a lot of it. I don't know that I love the Challenger Series. The purse is $4 million more than you make on the Corn Ferry Tour, but it's really just a glorified Corn Ferry Tour. I wouldn't want that event. You want that for Memphis?
Oh no! I hope Memphis keeps what they've got. That'd be a real letdown after all these years of having a great tournament like we do. I mean, it's something everybody looks forward to, and then if you drop into I guess I don't want to call it a minor league, but
I think you can. I think it's fair to say that what they're doing is they're asking for a lot of money for the championship, and they're elevating their minor league. And they're making it interesting because they're going to have relegation and promotion. So, but I do think it's a minor league. All right, we always end our little talk on Mondays with a lesson from the guy who's given 100,000 lessons.
Well, last week I was talking about turning your back to the target.
Yes, which
for people to get more power, and it's true. But once you get there to that position, how you start down is the real key. That you've got to start with your lower body, your left knee and your left hip, making a slight lateral move towards the target before your arms start down. It's like stepping into a pitch in baseball, or even throwing a football. The way you step and you throw it, you get the core going first, and your arms will lag just a little bit, and then the turn through impact is what gives you the power. But if you don't wind up your back to put in a position, you can't do it. It's a kind of a sequence of events that it takes conditioning. A lot of people can't do it. But
stretching, core exercises.
Core exercise, you got it.
All right. So take your turn, your back to the target, and then start with that left hip and that left knee to get going before you release your arms.
Well, right. When you watch the old-time pictures like slow motions of Ben Hogan and even Rory, they're actually going forward while their club is still going back. If you put them in a slow motion, their backswing is still going and their hips are going left already when they're halfway back. And that's incredible.
That is. Ted Butler, you're incredible. We thank you each week, and we'll talk again next Monday.
Thanks, Dave.
That's our guru on golf from Memphis Golf and Games on Summer Avenue. Now, while he's a great golfer, He's brought to you by a guy who's a terrible golfer, Mr. Shank, Mr. Three-Putt. That's what they call my guy, Sheldon Rosengarten, Mark Spensdorf. He can't play golf because he can't practice. Because why? He's working 24/7, 365 for you. Yes, he is definitely the guru when it comes to strategy for selling your home. He's got this strategy. It's a marketing program that's worked for over 40 years. The guy knows what he's doing, and he works it so hard. He'll tell you, talk to 2 or 3 real estate agents. But if you want the strategy, the marketing program that gets you to the closing table, the finish line, quicker and for more money, he'll tell you the to-dos and not-to-dos. Then call him, 483-0546, or go to the website, memphisrelocate.com. You want to sell? You want it done correctly? Call the guy that does it. That's Sheldon Rosengarten, Mark Spensdorf, memphisrelocate.com, or 483-0546. That does it for us on this marvelous Monday. Johnny Radio's next. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everybody.